Maybe you've had your sponsorship job cancelled, or you've had your sponsor license revoked, and you've received your 60-day curtailment letter. You're in panic mode, you're applying everywhere, you are reaching out to everybody to hook you up with a job with sponsorship. In this video, I'm going to be telling you 5 things that I believe could really enhance your chances of really staying in country and be sponsored as a caregiver. Why I've made this video is because I've been there. I've done that. I've been in that position where I'm desperately looking for a sponsorship role, and I'm looking for an opportunity to really remain in the country, because we all know, we've been talking about it, all the changes in terms of the immigration laws, in terms of how difficult it has become to get a job that sponsors you. I've supported people walking through the same journey. I've seen friends, I've heard from friends in the same situation. And in this video, I'm going to be giving a realistic 5 things or 5 requirements that you would need to increase your chances of getting a sponsor, and therefore increase your chances of staying in the country as the caregiver, especially in this ever-changing immigration climate in the UK. A big welcome to my YouTube channel. For those of you that don't know me, I'm Florence, and in today's video, we are exploring what you can do if you're a caregiver in the country and you're really looking for a switch or for a job with sponsorship for you to remain in the country. So let's get right into it. The first one is become a driver. We cannot stress the importance of mobility. Mobility is power, especially in this job. Some may say, well, I'm looking for a switch in a care home or in a hospital. Whichever way you look at it, in as much as we consistently praise the public transport system in the country, sometimes timetables, employers do value people that show up on time, people that can be moved about in time. Flexibility is key. So therefore, if you're mobile, which means you can get to places on time, or you can even be delayed, whereby you have to stay an extra hour or an extra few hours, whereby you can't get public transport at that time. If you are a driver, then you are the person that most employers will be looking at. Not necessarily for domiciliary, but again, most of these jobs that offer sponsorship are found in domiciliary work. If you've been in the country for over a year, there shouldn't really be a reason why you're not a driver. If you haven't started and you're watching this video, you need to get started with your lessons, get booked onto those driving skills, because you really need them to increase your chances of really getting sponsorship in country especially. And again, in this job, you may be required, whether it's support or it's home care, you may be required to do some errands for the person that you're supporting or for the people that you care for. You may be required by the organization that you'll be working for to take them on day trips, on shopping trips, on hospital appointments. So if you are not a driver, really, you are in an unfavorable position for a switch. Given that you are competing against somebody who is a driver, then your chances of really getting a switch are limited. And I've seen, especially now that there's more people in the country really changing jobs every now and then, most employers, especially now, do state on their job is that driving is essential. So if you're watching this video and you're looking into really switching jobs in this industry, driving is one of the things that you have to start considering. It worked for me. I was a driver, and really I haven't struggled much when it comes to changing jobs or moving places. And now that I work in the hospital, my hospital is really, it's on the bus route, but there are times when you don't get a bus right on time when you finish, and you have to wait a bit later or go in a bit earlier. So those are some of the hiccups that you encounter. So driving is really key. The second one that is really key is flexibility. Are you willing to move towns, to move regions, or even to move work teams? Employers are looking, sometimes some of these jobs really that offer sponsorship could be in a different town altogether. So as you are applying, you should really be looking at, can I move to the next town? Can I move to a different country? The UK is constitutes of Scotland, Wales, Northern Ireland, and England. So as you are looking into really beating the 60-day timeline, the curtailment period that would have been given by the Home Office, part and parcel of what you should consider as you job hunt is flexibility. Sometimes you may find a job that is in a different city altogether, and this is where things like driving come into play. Sometimes I've seen where people say, well, I'm looking for a job, particularly in Cumbria. Well, I've given that as an example because that's where I live. Sometimes probably the next sponsor is in Manchester. Are you willing to move that far? And I'm talking to people, mostly those people with children, those people who prefer their support system, that they know you should be flexible and adaptable to increase your chances really of beating the 60-day settlement period. Also, while he's talking about flexibility, some people are so rigid such that when they are told, well, we do have both domiciliary and support, they say, I'm looking for support only because I'm a non-driver, or I'm looking for support only because I don't want to do domiciliary. Those are some of the things that really can cost you. Some employers would say you would need to work both, so you should be prepared for that as well. Some would say we do have live-in and domiciliary, or live-in and support, and it's hybrid working. You have to be able to suit both. So those are some of the things that you should really be looking into and be willing to be flexible, especially in the early days, because I've come across people that will be asking me questions like, Flo, should I tell them that I can't do live-in because I've got children? There are times when I know that it's very important. And for me as a mom, it's one of the things that I really put across to say, well, does this work routine suit my children? But we are talking about beating the 60-day curtailment period. If you can find ways to work around childcare needs, if you can find people that can support you, a partner that can support you, then definitely you should be looking at how flexible or how adaptable are you to the systems in place. The third one that I want to talk about is experience. And by experience, we're talking about building up your UK experience. This has worked for me, and I'll give you why it worked for me. A lot of employers now look at how broad your experience is. It could be your care experience, having experience in dementia care, end of life or palliative care, having learning disability experience, or experience working with children or young adults can really increase your chances of getting a switch or a job with sponsorship in country and really beat the 60-day curtailment period. Why do I stress on that? Because it shows that you have done you've worked in different settings and you bring a wealth of experience to the team that you'll be joining. This will be shown through your CV when you list down all those experiences. And by that, I'm not encouraging people to lie in their CVs, but there are means and ways in which you can actually gain that experience. For me, when I first started, one of the things that I really taught myself coming to the country was I want to know as much as I can about the industry, about the different care settings in the country. And I must say, I'm happy to say I've worked in different care settings altogether. I've worked with different people that I've supported with different care needs altogether. Also, when we talk about experience, we'll be talking about experience working in different teams altogether. Have you worked in a hospital? Have you worked in a care home? Have you only worked in domiciliary and done nothing else? Have you done supported living? Have you done live-in experience? All those things do count, as employers are really looking at you to say, well, in the past 2 years that you've been in the country, what is it that you've gained? What is it that you've learned along the lines of care? So that is very important. And I'm always encouraging people to say there are means and ways in which you can gain this experience. You don't necessarily have to be job hopping. If you've been lucky and fortunate enough to have job hopped, that's good experience. However, you can gain experience working parallel. I remember when I was working in domiciliary, I did a part-time job in a care home. That was my first part-time job in a care home. I joined a care agency that would signpost me to different care homes with different care and support needs. And that was a beautiful experience that I've carried along even now that I work in the NHS. That has been a valuable experience that I would never trade for anything. The other way in which you can gain experience is get a part-time job. I've always said in my videos that I worked in support, and that was through a part-time job. So I was permanently contracted to work my 20 hours in support work. That's where I've built my support work, specialized support work role that I do. And it's beautiful experience altogether. So I'm building my experience portfolio so that in the event that I want to join a different organization altogether, I'm listing all these things. I'm sharing all that experience. Speaking of working in the NHS, I'm always sharing that the NHS is desperate for staff. So you can join them through joining their bank team. Just reach out to the closest trust that is near you. You can go on their website and type in bank team. It will come up and you reach out to them and they'll guide you through how to do it. Also, another thing, if you're wanting to join the NHS, is through volunteering. Again, go on their website, or you can go in person and inquire how to go about it. I did it and it worked for me. I'll share with you briefly, just in case you haven't watched the video that I made on how I joined the NHS. So I joined their bank team. Within 3 months of joining that bank team, I got the job that I work in as a sponsor. It was a sponsored job, sponsored role, and in a ward, which is something that I've always wanted. But that was because I had joined their bank team and I had all this UK care work experience. So experience does count. If you haven't joined a different organization already, start thinking about it as you script your journey of who you want to become as a UK caregiver, and that can work in very handy when the time comes for you to switch to a different organization with sponsorship. The fourth one that I want to share with you is learning, training. Do not just sit on that care certificate, on that Red Cross certificate that you came with from abroad and just say, well, I'm in a job and I'm just... Because employers love people that are learning. Because when you learn, when you do those courses, it says a lot about you as a professional. It says about you in terms of the value that you bring to the table. And believe you me, employers no wonder why every organization that you go to in this country, they've got internal or in-house training departments. They prioritize PD training development. They really put that at the core of the criteria that they would choose to when it comes to pick a new employee. So instead of you just sitting on that care certificate, go for that NVQ if you can. If time and finances allow, go for that training. If you can't go for the NVQ training, go for those in-house mandatory training. Do your medication training, your safeguarding training, your lifting and handling. Those trainings come in handy. Those trainings shows how competent you are. Where you can enroll in those courses such as phlebotomy, cannulation. They give you a wealth portfolio of value as an employee. And when you start to, it shows that you're specialized in something. Do not underestimate those training courses. Do those courses, do it for your children with learning disability, autism training. Get a wealthy variety of trainings under your portfolio. And believe you me, you increase your chances of really being sponsored or getting those job roles that offer sponsorship without a struggle, and you beat the 60-day curtailment period. The fifth one, referrals. Never underestimate this one. Believe you me, in this industry, in this environment, your name travels faster than your CV. Don't just block off people and cut ties. Referrals could be from someone that you worked with before, could be from a manager that you worked with or a supervisor that you worked with. No wonder why really good relations, whether previous or current, do matter in this industry. So there's nothing wrong with you reaching out to a former colleague, former supervisor, former manager and say, hey, looking for sponsorship, I'm looking for a switch, keep me in mind. And platforms like myself, I am on every platform. I'm here on YouTube, I'm on Facebook, I'm on TikTok. Just a simple reaching out. Flo, keep me in mind if you see any sponsorship jobs. We've helped a lot of people really connect with employers that could potentially sponsor them to stay in the country, and we do this for free. So never underestimate the power of referrals. Reach out to those colleagues that you worked with. And again, while we're still talking about referrals, I've done a lot of them. I've worked with a lot of people. I've referred them to jobs that they still enjoy even now. However, there's a catch to this one. Always when you're in a job, and I'm still learning this and I still apply this even where I work, working hard and being a good person really goes a long way, because nobody wants to refer somebody that's going to stay trouble for them where they go. I've come across circles where people say, well, wherever you go, beware of your countrymen. I can do better. We are better people and we are hardworking people. So wherever you go, work hard, do everything by the book, follow within the industry, be professional, basically, and people will consistently be referring you. People will be consistently inviting you to join their teams. I've been in organizations where I've invited people that I know to join the organization, and they've gone on to be sponsored within the same organization that I work for. Why? Because I knew them. I know their work ethic. I know what they stand for. I know how they are as colleagues, and I'll be happy to refer them. So be that good employee. And also, if you're in a position of supervision, or if you're a sponsor and you're watching this video, when people come in with referrals, please do take into account the fact that people will never refer someone that they wouldn't want to work with. They always refer people that they know are of good character, have got good work ethic, and that as a plus when someone says, I know so, and I believe they will be a big fit for your team. So hey, listen, I know it's tough. I know how waiting can really be cumbersome and can give all your energy. But I want to remind you, don't forget your power. Don't forget that everything that you have within you really can stand a good chance for you to get sponsored and stay in the country. Remember the 5 things that we've talked about in this video. Your experience, your training, your expertise, and your relationships go a long way. On top of that, driving as a skill really can increase your chances of getting sponsored. So there's still hope. When you get that 60-day letter, get working, get started. And again, if you're watching this video and you haven't got the 60-day letter, don't wait until you get the 60-day letter for you to start acting now. Start building that experience, start getting the skills in place, start getting that driver's license if you didn't have one, and things will be easier going forward. Guys, that's all I had for you in this video. And again, don't forget relationships. Your relationships do matter. Your relationship could be the next big thing that could link you up with a job of your dreams. So don't neglect that area. So that's all I had for you. It has helped you in a big way. Share this video with others. Leave us a comment in the comment section, and also give us a thumbs up so that we can reach other people with our diaspora journey, where we talk about success, opportunities, and how best we can really navigate this ever-changing immigration terrain abroad, not just for the UK, but everywhere else, because things are changing quick, thick, fast. So that's all I had. I'll see you in my next video. Bye for now.